Looking for reliable and convenient personal safety products? Less Lethal has you covered. As Canada's only authorized Byrna distributor, we provide a range of products for recreation, protection, and security. Explore our Byrna launcher lineup, including the LE, SD, TCR, and Mission 4, designed for different levels of performance and protection needs. We also offer the Banshee personal safety alarm, designed to protect children, women, and vulnerable individuals. Because your safety is our top priority. Shop now at lesslethal.ca.
You find us in Kelowna. And I have to tell you, after a harrowing drive through some of the wildfire smoke and evacuation areas, we have a breath of fresh air in Kelowna, a little bit of smoke in the air behind us, but still the vibe of summer continues in Kelowna. And Denys Storozhuk joins me from Okanagan Experience Incorporated,
Yep.
which has some really wonderful opportunities for tourists when they come to town. Tell me a little bit about what you guys offer.
All kinds of water activities. We have regular speedboats, we have jet skis, Sea-Doos, we have tiki boards that you just saw. We even got e-surf board that we bought out of Quebec, supporting Canada.
All Canadian.
And of course, all tubes, wakeboards, water skis, wake surfing, all of this stuff. It's for summer. For winter, we have different options.
But your experience for summer is in full effect. I saw people coming off the tiki boat. They've had a good time.
Yeah.
And even though there is certainly warnings of fire in surrounding areas, everybody seems to be proceeding here without so much concern about that. How do you feel?
Well, it's smoky. Definitely, some people feel the smoke, some don't. I don't personally. I feel it for first 30 seconds after I leave the home. After that, I don't care.
You adjust?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yesterday, I had a big group on my tiki boat, about 12 people from Kelowna. They were enjoying themselves to the fullest, and they said to me, well, we are from Kelowna. We used to the smoke. Every August it happens. We don't care. You know?
That's interesting to me. So you even have locals coming out to participate.
Yeah.
Because you can't have all of the items in your cache that make summer fun. So I guess...
No, it's cheaper to rent.
Go to Denys.
Than to store it, maintain it, pay insurance, all of that. But fire, we have 2 fires north of us. One fire just started south, pretty big, but it's quite far from Kelowna. And we know, like people who live in Kelowna know it happens every year, every other year. And they know, if something burned once, it won't burn again for 20, 30 years. So these are safe places.
Right.
Which is surrounded by burn. It's a natural cycle of, like, before people came here.
It's very interesting because we drive through it like it's Armageddon on the way here. You should see my post. Oh! But I arrive here and people are like, remain calm, man. You need to relax. People are having a good time. It's so everything's alive here on the waterfront.
Yeah, less people than usual, I would say.
Yeah.
For sure, mostly tourists, less tourists. Because people watch the news, Vancouver, Calgary, there are fires, there is smoke, we won't go.
Right.
So, but...
I think Northern Ontario is having a similar experience where normally they would have a summer boon. Mm-hmm. It's a little more reserved this year. But I'll tell you, it seems quite alive here. Now, tell me a little bit about your history here in Kelowna. Now, obviously, you weren't born in Kelowna. Where were you born, and how did you end up here?
So, you noticed I have some accent, right?
I might have noticed that.
Yeah. So...
let me guess. I'm very good at this. You are Mexican?
Yeah, I've been in Mexico 2 months ago.
I can still hear the accent.
Right, from this visit, right? Nope.
No, you come from Ukraine.
Yes, good guess. You guessed it by my last name, right?
I did my research by talking to you.
Right.
Yeah, your last name is unlike the Russian pronunciation, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, so 25 years ago and a half, I moved to this beautiful city straight from the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv, and I never looked back.
What brought you here in the first place?
Multiple reasons, like I already made some business in Ukraine, career and so on, but I saw a lot of corruption at the time, and I don't like it. I'm kind of moral man, I did not have kids yet, but I was married already, and we just wanted to kind of start the family, have kids, and we had 2 kids born here. And the other reason that Kyiv, when it became capital of independent Ukraine, started to grow so fast.
Right.
There were so much traffic, so much people, so it was not the city that I was born and raised in. So I did not like it. It became too big. And when I kind of looked, okay, where do I want to go? I've been in States in '99, just visiting my friends, Florida, Seattle. I like Seattle, not only Seattle, but Olympic Peninsula, and the nature is very similar to
It
here,
is, right? Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I love the nature. I've been 7 times in Finland. It's very similar to Finland. And both me and my wife thought, well, it would be nice to move somewhere here, but move to US, it's not easy. Like you have to have lawyers and stuff and a lottery, you know. And in general, it's too diverse, I would say. Something good about US, but we thought Canada would be similar but better.
Okay.
Right?
And the process a little bit
and much easier with
easier,
process.
yeah.
Like right now it's tightened, but at the time it was like I have IT background, IT profession, computer programming. There was a special program, was very easy to get in on this program, and it was. And Canada welcomed me like from the day one, pretty much. So I did not want to go to big city. I did not want to go to small village where there is nothing to do. I love the water. I wanted to start skiing, and it just hit all the spots. You know,
What an optimum time in life to be able to pick where you're going to
Exactly,
be
yeah.
based on the things you love.
Yeah.
And so rarely actually in life do you hear that people take that opportunity at that point in their life and say, okay, before I start to settle someplace, I better settle where I like to be. And it's interesting. I kind of find it interesting too, if I may be honest with you, that you didn't go to a major city. I noticed now immigration drives to major cities like Vancouver, Toronto.
But it's mostly because people think it's easier to find job here, or there are established communities, friends, and so on. Or maybe they just heard about the cities.
Right.
People heard about Vancouver. There was Olympic Games, there is FIFA, whatever. You know, it's just on their map. They start researching. They never think about small cities. But what happens is, like I had so many times, I had questions from people, both tourists and locals, when I tell them that I come from Ukraine, and they said, where you come to Canada before Kelowna? I said, no, I came straight to Kelowna. They say, lucky you, how did you know?
Yeah,
right? Like,
where did you get this knowledge?
Yeah, because even now...
I did my research.
Yeah, because even now, like after the war started, so many Ukrainians moved to Canada, I think 200,000. And we have continuous intake to Kelowna from people who already been in Edmonton or Regina or something, Manitoba, right? So they went there because they thought it's easier to set up, less taxes, whatever. They come there. Well, we are not from Siberia, you know, Ukraine have similar weather, right? And they come there, they started to research more after all. They landed in Canada and they go to Kelowna. So
it's interesting that a population, a culture, or expats can find themselves in a certain area. By the way, we're going to have a conversation after this one about Kelowna, about your involvement with the Ukrainian community here and in the Ukraine. So let's unwrap Kelowna for me. What is the magic of Kelowna? I've heard it my whole life. This is my first visit. At first blush, it does look like a magical place.
Well, the smoke is not, for your first visit, probably smoke is not the best.
I'll put it out of my mind.
Yeah, take it off and then you go. Well, I'll mention main things that people say. The weather, obviously. Like, you know, the question I get so many times from people who come from Calgary, Edmonton, for example, how many months of snow you have here?
Right.
They say, well, we have some snow in winter, mostly where I live on the mountain, 5 minutes from here, not in the downtown. It melts. in few days or maybe a week. So do you count it as a snow month or not snow month, right?
No, in Ontario terms, nothing happened. That's what we refer to as statistical zero.
Right.
You know.
So the weather is one thing. Some people just don't like snow. I don't know why. I like snow when I go. But it's when it's my choice to
It's
go
better
to
on the
ski
hills.
resort.
Yeah, I would
ski
agree with
resort.
you. When you have
Right?
to snow blow it or move it out of your way, that's no fun.
Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, I think, especially for people who move from big cities, is our real estate is pretty expensive, but it's not as expensive.
Has it maintained through what I think in Canada is a little bit of, and I think nobody would disagree, a little bit of financial and economic hardship and adjustment over the last couple of years?
It maintained. It did not. It stopped growing a few years ago. It did not go down.
Yeah.
And it's pretty clear why, because it's a unique place in Canada, and it has other factors than just general economics or bank rates or whatever. So there are other factors involved in real estate here, right? And we had a lot of new construction, like these 2 towers behind you, they were just built, they are occupied last year, for example. There is new big university building being built, 43-story high.
Right.
So
That was my first
Yeah.
point of shock. As I said to our producer, as we came over the bridge, I went, oh my goodness, you come around the corner and there's a city here. This is a real, vibrant little city with beautiful brand new architecture. That was noted in poignant points around the town. It seems well appointed for tourists and people to live here.
Yeah, I would agree. Our city does good job sometimes.
What are some of the challenges
For
living here and doing business here?
Well, I would say we are very busy in the summer season. In fall or spring, it's more deserted. In winter, up until at least a few years ago, the businesses downtown did not, there were no people downtown.
Right.
But now with all these high rises coming up, there will be more population. So I think that would be the business, like if somebody wants to open the restaurant or something,
Right.
or cafe. Or my friend Tatiana, who you met, she opened sauna spa,
Okay.
and it did not work well because of this seasonality, right? So I think that's one of the reasons. Like in the major cities, people kind of go all around the year. Here it's sleepy in winter. Everybody is on the hill, ski
Right.
hill.
Yeah.
Do you know what happens when they announce on the radio powder alert? City is deserted and somehow offices are half empty. Everybody on the hill.
That's the life, right?
Yeah.
The water in the summer,
Yeah.
the hills in
Yeah. So it's
early
completely
winter.
different vibe. You
So
know?
do you think? Now I'm just chatting with you about this. I don't know. Do you think that there's justification in bringing, or there should be some sort of support to bring more industry or more business of some sort to Kelowna to actually create more real estate, to create more non-seasonal seasonal business?
Absolutely. So we did have, I know about the, like, of course we have all these wineries and so on, but it's seasonal business as well. We had big factory when I moved in 25 years ago. It was Western Star Truck. So it's pretty famous. It was one of the biggest Canadian manufacturers of big trucks. But then it was bought by Chrysler, and as a competitor, basically, with the purpose to close,
eliminate.
So they took some of the equipment, moved it to States, and so on. So that was big business. We still have another big business, which is Sunripe. They manufacture juice, mostly apple juice, and I saw some of them in Ontario. Our juice, right, on the shelves.
I've seen it there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's coming from Kelowna. But these are two big. One is not existing anymore. But this is Sunripe is the only big factory. So of course, bringing some business, like build some factory or something.
Maybe some tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tech, we are pretty good on tech. So even when I moved here 25 years ago, It was already advertised at the time as Silicon Valley of Canada.
I had heard that. I recall that in my youth as well. That was where we were going to get all our future technology in Canada.
Well, it worked partially. I moved here because of that.
That's what brought you, yeah.
That's the main thing. We have, just around the corner, we have innovation center. So they try to develop it. There are big landmark buildings full of offices. There are many tech companies. We even had Disney at one point in Kelowna.
Okay.
So we had, there was a company, Penguin Club. My kids even played it. And it was bought out by Disney, so we had division of Disney here.
Okay.
And then it closed. So yeah, so I think proportionally, the amount of people involved in high-tech or IT industry in Kelowna is higher than in most of the other cities. Just
Per
proportion
capita,
of population per capita.
yeah.
We have major UBCO,
That's true,
university,
yeah.
UBC of Okanagan. And when I am there, I meet people from all over the world that come here. So it's good university. My kids are there on computer science.
You mentioned the wineries.
Wineries,
This is
over 100.
It's amazing. This is one of the most incredible things that you hear globally about Canada.
Yeah.
Is that BC wines are really on the scene on a global
There are only
front.
two centers, Niagara and BC here. And it's interesting, when I traveled through all the Canada on my Tesla just to give it a ride to Quebec City and
Check
back.
this out. Dennis he tested his Tesla by driving across the country.
To Quebec City.
Well done.
Right? And then back with side trips to Saskatoon and Edmonton and even Grand Prairie. But anyway, in Quebec, they have amazing food. But when I asked them about wine recommendations, there were, in all the restaurants, there were only two choices, French and BC. Say, I don't want BC, I'm from here. Like, I can drink it every day. Give me French. But I said, what about Quebec wine? Don't take it, right?
You don't hear that. When you go to Ontario on occasion, sadly, you'll hear that as well. Oh, but maybe you should try BC wine.
Yeah.
So I think that we are often a little bit locally shy about our wines, and we think there's no way they could be good. But really, BC, Okanagan wine is.
Do you know about ice
level.
wine?
Yes. Yeah.
You know ice wine. They make it.
What a
only
perfect
here.
scenario for ice wine.
Exactly.
You described the winters here to me as being very light and mild.
Yeah.
That must give them an extended ice wine period.
Well, you can produce proper ice wine only when it's -8 degrees. You have to collect the grapes. And here we still have continental climate. So in winter, we have 2 weeks. It's every year, except the last one. City saved a lot on snow removing budget. We have 2 weeks when it's cold. Only 2 weeks. I observed it for 25 years. And in this it could plunge up to -20.
Right.
But it's very dry. It's not like Toronto, right?
That humid, cold.
Yeah.
To the bone,
so I like it even, just for comparison. Only 2 weeks, and it's exactly the time when it hits freezing, and then when they collect the grapes for ice wine. And of course, summer is super hot, good for
growth and
for everything.
And
right?
to create that rich
climate.
soil that you need.
Yeah.
You have that temperate scenario. It's so funny. Our producer on the way here asked a poignant question. Maybe you know the answer to it. Maybe you don't. Does the smoke affect what'll happen with the wine, the flavor of the wine?
Well, you see, so many factors affected: weather, soil. I'm sure smoke affected, but it doesn't mean that it will affect it in the bad way.
Right.
It will be just different taste for this year.
I wonder.
Yeah, there's nothing else. It's not. It doesn't make it bad.
Okay, so
it makes it different.
I've arrived in Kelowna, and I've got the opportunity to do 3 things. Outside 4. I'm coming by to do some water sports. What else do you generally recommend to people that would be a great secret or something that they'll take home and remember for a long time?
Well, wineries are the must, and with wines, it's not only the wine itself, but the wineries itself is where they're located, the views. Some wineries are really fancy made. It's experience by itself to go there and taste it, right? So it's not only the quality of the wine, but the whole experience. There are special wine tours and so on. I even have wine tour to the winery. We have the only winery in North America, as they say, with its own dock. It's Friend Winery. So we just go on the boat, dock it there, do the tasting.
Wow, what a
Right.
fantastic day
Two in
that
one.
is.
2 in 1.
Oh, what a
Right.
fantastic opportunity.
Yeah, and you don't need to go in air-conditioned bus in the heat, right?
No,
you just,
make your way
you
there.
Just gas more, and that's your air conditioning, or jump in the lake.
What do
if
they
you
call
fall.
that? 40 air, you could do 40 knots and there's your air conditioning.
Exactly. That's how it works.
And so now, let's just break away for one moment, because when we first met up, right away I detected that you are Kelowna in your blood. You said, I'm a Kelowna citizen. Said, before doing this, I was going to put your coffee cup here. I was going to throw it out. I don't want you to think I'm littering across the country.
You might forget.
It's a good point. But a Kelowna citizen he is, and I get the impression that that is something that really is a beautiful thing in your life, that you feel you are home.
Yeah.
Not only are you home, but you do remember your roots. And as soon as war broke out between Russia and the Ukraine, you got to work here. Tell me about about your humanitarian work with regard to the Ukraine.
So I was not, I was just businessman, IT professional. I was not involved in any, non-profit or so on. But when the war broke out and we were watching the news in horror, my son, who was 19 at the time, said, Dad, you have to do something. So I contacted the friends, put the announcement. Same day, we had the rally right here by City Hall. And it grew up. The organization, Kelowna Stands with Ukraine. I think the name matter too. So many people love to put our stickers on their car just to support. But
Fantastic.
It's also organization name,
Yeah.
right? So we
Good branding, good opportunity for
Well, I'm
the,
good
for
at
the
branding,
name.
yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
remarkable.
So we collected in total 400,000 in donations. Most of it was spent for body armor. Like first month, 2 months of the war, it was completely unexpected in Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
So they were out of necessary equipment. Body armor, different tactical gear. We could not send, of course, weapons, but body armor. And then when they were supplied completely, we started to send pickup trucks. We sent 2 pickup trucks that we bought here to the front line. But also what happened in about 2 months after the war started, the Ukrainians started to come here, refugees. So Canada had a pretty good program at the time, quiet program, that allowed Ukrainians to obtain visa very fast, free, and so on, and 200,000 people use this opportunity. And I think it's very good to Canada, because all the people that I speak to that came from Ukraine are very hardworking, with very good ethical standards. They could not even imagine situation when they don't work. They work 2-3 jobs.
It's interesting you say that. I make the same observation that when they had the opportunity to come to Canada, they didn't just arrive to Canada and sit down. I noticed the Ukrainian community reaching out to other Ukrainians to say, I'm here, I've arrived, I need to get a job, I need to get
But
acclimated.
I think our government, I don't, at the time, I'm not big big supporter of the government, but they made the right decision because they give work visa. They did not give refugee status. They gave work visa. Right?
That was a smart idea.
It was smart
in
idea.
hindsight, because come here, but you got to work.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we'll help you, but you've got to work.
Yeah, you get to work. You don't get any.
Which you point out is that's less debilitating to a migrant than saying you can't work.
Yeah, that's how they do in Europe and some countries. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know in Germany some Ukrainians say if we go to work, we will earn less money than if we don't, right? But they fill so many positions here. Like half of the cleaning industry in Kelowna, like home cleaning, is Ukrainian now. Because Ukrainian ladies go and clean, the minimum wage positions. I mean, they're filled by good people right now. And we even had a petition to the parliament last winter, all Canadian, to provide some kind of pathway for permanent residence for the people who already arrived, work here at least 3 years, and have established history, community links, and so on. And they still ignoring it. I hope it happens one day.
I do too.
Yeah, but as a Canadian, not as Ukrainian, but as a Canadian,
I was going to say that's a Canadian perspective, I think.
Yeah, as a Canadian, I think if you lose these people, it would be a bad idea for Canada.
Let me ask you, Denys, I think maybe I've taken the perspective, right or wrong, that our government just keeps sending all this money to the Ukraine. What are we doing? Why do we just keep fueling this? Why is Canada sending so much money to the Ukraine? I hear it. I have felt it myself, thinking, okay, we should support, but to what end and to what pain? What's your response to that? How do you feel about that?
You said very interesting word, fueling it. Why we are fueling it? It's not Canada, of course, like all the Western countries that help, right?
Right.
So, what would happen without Western help? I think it's very little, but it's just enough to keep Ukraine afloat. Russia would occupy Ukraine. There would be massive genocide, how they do already in occupied areas. So, first of all, people of the world, honest people, they would regret that it's because of them it happened.
They let it happen.
Let it happen.
Right?
It's like
I think that's
it's like Holocaust in some extent.
If you could have spent anything to stop the Holocaust,
exactly.
And I think that's the break point in my mind. I mean, I detest our government overspending. I have to be honest with you, and spending it in other countries makes it even tougher, I think, for Canadians to digest. But when I think about it, I take your perspective and I think, oh, yeah, but if we let that country that would just be an abomination of what you should do for society.
That's first reason. The second reason, Russia would feel on the rise. If they occupy Ukraine, win Ukraine, they won't stop.
They've got momentum.
I think it's Putin mostly, but many Russians speak the same. They got momentum, they would invade Baltic countries, it's NATO. Canada is just across the little ocean from Russia.
Right.
Right? It's contested. It's contested ocean, you know?
Right. Yes.
Russia and Canada do not agree about the border.
Right.
Right? With global warming, these pathways opening in the Arctic, shelves for drilling, and so on, there could be conflict between Russia and Canada, easily. And it would cost much, much more money. Because Ukraine is fighting for the free world right now.
I think we rarely think of that perspective, that Arctic threat is a real thing. And Canada just we keep building our presence, and we've made large commitments with equipment and subs and everything to protect that. Mm-hmm. And when you think about it, the reason is Russia.
Of course, who else?
Specifically, right?
Yeah.
So
who else could attack through North Pole?
I got to be honest with you. You might be the first Ukrainian I've had the opportunity to say, what do you say to me when I say, where's all my tax dollars going? It's a good perspective. And it's a good cause that you guys have put together to help end that war. I'm sure the last thing you want is it to go even one step further.
No.
What do you predict the end of this war looks like?
Well, realistically, if nothing changes from now on, I think sooner or later Russia will just give up.
Yeah.
Right? Because especially in the last few months, Ukraine is so successful attacking all these oil refineries and all of that. So,
do you think Putin's getting pressure from within now?
He does, but that's a problem. It's complete dictatorship. He is a single decision point. So one day he might die or be ousted. It's happened in Russia many times. As soon as that will happen, the war is over. There is another scenario. They have nuclear weapons. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If they would not have nuclear weapons, it will be long finished.
As many conflicts or many disputes with Russia have.
So I could not tell. The only thing I can tell that especially this year, I'm proud on the efforts that Ukraine is doing. Ukraine become one of the military powers in the world. With our own so much technology developed. Like even when Iran attacked Arab nations,
they were using technology.
They asked Ukraine for help. So it's Ukraine is shield of Europe, and I'm sure that nobody would allow Europe to fall. No Canada.
No, but it's wild to me that it's gone this long, and maybe. You know, as much as I complain about putting money into it, should the world have stepped in a little heavier? Should NATO have taken this on right away? It's hard to say. But the one thing I will say is that when I hear that there's a Canadian out there organizing to make a difference right there on the battlefield, it does make me feel proud as a Canadian.
Well, moreover, there are Canadians who fight in Ukraine.
I've witnessed this, and I've met them.
One of my friends, he's born in Kelowna, he's a soldier, he is fighting right there now in special ops. And we help few other guys. Even there was one person who was we're in contact with MPs, obviously MLAs and city. So he was aide of our MP at the time, and he volunteered to go to Ukraine and work as a battle medic. And there is a special foreign legion in Ukraine where only foreigners fight together.
I've watched this. Yeah, it's quite incredible to see the unity of volunteerism to go to the front lines, to be part of the technology, to be part of the engineering.
And they go there because of the heart.
Yeah.
You know, it's not money or anything else. They just feel, I have the skills, I should give it. As a medic or as a soldier. You know?
Yeah,
so,
well, Denys, I'll tell you this, man. You're an incredible introduction to Kelowna for me. I feel like I made a friend in town, and I will be back to visit. But through your eyes, I understand this place, and I love what you're doing here as a citizen. Man, thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's plug it. The website for your for the Okanagan experience is
OkanaganExperience.ca. So easy.
And I'll make sure
Not .com.
I'll make sure that we include it in the description for the show as well. Meanwhile, we're going to give you a look around Kelowna, and I thank you, Denys. We'll see you again here.
Yeah, I would love to see you again. Let's go for the boat ride.
For real?
Why not?
All right. Come on, you can come with us.